So you actually inspired like two questions, and I want to see if I can spit them out before I forget.
Yeah.
So the first one is like with this kind of mimicking of culture, like we can do that all day, make fun of our parents' accents or funny things they did growing up, and make as many skits as possible.
They have
But
no idea.
what?
They have no clue.
But what about like our future kids? Like, are they going to be able to make fun of us? Because I feel like that's that cultural disconnect that I always think about and get concerned. That's the first question. The second question, I've seen so many like Igbo athletes. Maybe they're mixed. More than like most of them are mixed. Maybe they have a white parent or whatever the case may be, and naturally there's going to be a disconnect. One growing up in the diaspora, to having coming from a multiracial or multicultural home. So it's so painful hearing them say their names, for them to say their own names incorrectly. Like, it's just like, oh my gosh, if you can't say your own name right, then I don't know. Like, that's like the first step to, I don't know. So I don't know if you can kind of give some quick feedback about that before we go into your photography.
Sure. Good questions. So the first one, they're going to be able to make fun of us and our act. I would hope so. I mean, I love comedy. I mean, there's one comedian named Josh Too Funny, and his stuff is like hilarious. He has a huge following, and I would hope so. I mean, I try to be lighthearted. I don't know if I would. I mean, like, I might say, some people say my accent comes out if I have, I don't know, maybe I do, when I'm angry or whatever, but I hope they'd be able to make fun of us. I hope they always say you wind up turning into your parents, so maybe there's quirks that we'll have, but that's a really interesting question that you had. Are they going to be able to make fun of us? That's that is my goal. If that is the mark of good Igbo parenting, is will your parents make fun? Will your children make fun of the things you put them through and your mindset? That is the goal. Thank you for giving me that. I don't have a good answer for that, but I'm going to make sure to embarrass my children on a daily basis. Drop them off from school. I'm going to yell so many things from the car door to make sure that their friends look forward to me picking them up from school. Whenever I pick them up, I don't know if they're going to have hologram cell phones at that time. Everyone's going to come out. They'll be like, oh, watch this. Like, they're picking it out. Yo, watch. Everyone's going to be, cool. But yeah, I hope they can make fun of us. Yeah, but like, because I think what you're saying is like, at least they were so into their culture that there was some residual there that we can make fun of. It's not like we're the lane effect.
Right.
We have to be strong enough in ours so that they pick up something. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to pick up anything at all.
Right. Right.
And there was another question about not being able to name correctly.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it's just more of like cultural preservation is something that I'm really like. It concerns me because I mean, at least the people who are back home, obviously they are in an environment that they can walk down the street and pretty much see or hear the language being spoken, or seeing their culture, going to the village, their culture, their township or whatever. But for us, being that we're so many thousands or whatever miles removed, and then for both you and I, we don't go home as often, and maybe don't connect with people back home. Of course, we may have our groups here, but obviously they're Americanized for the most part, versus those who are back home who are still very much, in the culture and can connect with the culture in a deeper way than we can, without even really trying to. For us, I feel like we have to be very intentional about it. So it's just a concern, like even with people saying their names incorrectly, or, of course, we've been guilty of it many times. Even allowing people to say our names incorrectly, we'll just kind of let them, just call me this. I mean, I don't typically do that. I don't do that now, especially not now. But in the past, like, people would ask, oh, can I just call you Nikki? I'm just going to call you this. And it's like, no. But, because, like, as you mentioned earlier, because you're in this environment and you want to fit in as much as possible, not try to create too much, like, whatever. So you just kind of go on with it and just let people call you whatever it is. So I think, again, going back to you being intentional about people calling you Chukwunonso, I think it's powerful because, again, it forces them to go out of their own comfort zones. It teaches them some level of someone else's culture. And also, like you said, it's a blessing over your own life. Like, it's speaking something into your life. So, I mean, we don't have to talk about that too much, but I just wanted to get that out there.
Yeah, no, I'm okay with addressing that really quick if you're okay with that. So it's it's definitely going to be a process. I think it's good to incentivize people. Like you said, it's cool now to be
right.
So, or you can find a comedian or something. So I think as long as someone finds someone they can connect with, then they might become more interested in learning how to pronounce their name properly. Because there's a lot of power in a name. The reason why I get names is because of the power in their meaning. It's almost like you were giving a divine assignment from God through your parents, right? And I get people these names to share my culture and inspire them. So it's like, this is your divine assignment. And it's like, if the people who I can give these names to, if they can think of themselves as almost kind of like a superhero in their starring them. If you can think of some of these heroes, they're called to a purpose, right? And they might that purpose is challenging in the beginning, or they might even reject it in the beginning, and they want to have nothing to do with it. But as much as they run away, that purpose always follows them. So if you're struggling with something in your life, you want to accomplish a certain goal, and you ask me for an Igbo name, I'm going to try my best to give you a name that's going to speak some type of blessing into your situation. So it's like your divine assignment now. So no matter how far, if you have a back in your life or anything like that, that thing will always follow you, just like that hero in a movie. And their purpose eventually wins them over. You know what I'm saying? Or they step into their purpose, and it leads them into greatness.
I love that.